Yeah.
All rise. The Court of the City of Walla Walla is now in session. Honorable Judge Cameron Peters presiding. Your Honor, today's case is the City of Walla Walla versus Derek Robinson.
Prosecution may now present the opening statement.
May it please the court,
It may.
opposing counsel, Honorable Judge Peters. I am Jacob Ramsey, an artist of the City of Walla Walla in this case. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to condemn the irresponsible actions of the defendant. The defendant recklessly endangered all the lives of the people on the train by firing a gun in the train tracks. Today you will hear the testimony of the defendant's probation officer, who will testify against the defendant's reckless behavior. The evidence will show that the defendant has not always walked a straight line. You will also hear from the victim's husband, Nathaniel Green. Dr. Green will describe what happened on that train during the fateful day that took the lives of his wife and unborn child. Yes, the victim, Monica Green, was 7 months pregnant until the defendant's bullet ended their short lives. At the end of this trial, I ask you to serve justice to the one responsible for the deaths of these innocent people. I ask you to find the defendant guilty.
The defense may now present their opening statement.
May it please the court?
It may.
My name is Noah Brohl, and I represent Derek Robinson, the defendant in this case. The opposing counsel says that Derek is responsible for the death of a young woman passing by on a train and should receive decades in prison. The evidence will show that Derek did indeed pick up a gun and defend a lot, and did indeed shoot at some targets near a railroad. The evidence is clear, however, that Derek did not kill Ms. Green. Besides Derek's prints on the gun, we will also find Jerry and one other unidentified set of prints. We can assume that the unidentified set of prints belong to the original owner of the gun. This clearly states that Jerry also handled the gun, and therefore it is incorrect to put blame of a woman's death on Derek Robinson. A man who is known, today we'll hear from two witnesses, Mike Henry, Derek's basketball coach, a man who has known Derek since 6th grade and will testify that Derek would never intentionally hurt someone. Mr. Henry will explain that Derek's once previous offense was a trivial matter of vandalizing school property, and how he has matured and grown in the past few years. We will also hear from Angelika Stolevich, whom Derek has been helping and tutoring to speak English. She will also testify that Derek is a kind, giving boy, incapable of harming anyone. The defense asks you to please consider all of the evidence you have heard here today, and for Derek Robinson, return a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Prosecution may present the first witness.
May it please the court.
May.
The prosecution would like to call Joe McFarland to the stand.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Would you please state your name for the court? Okay, how do you know the defendant? Why exactly does the defendant need a probation officer?
Because he vandalized.
Okay. What type of vandalism?
Elderly woman's garden.
Okay. Do you know the defendant's family background?
Yeah, his family sort of supported him and encouraged him together. But he just
So you're saying he remains reckless?
yeah.
How's he doing in academics?
Well, he's doing the bare minimum, and even though he's going to go on child
Your witness.
So you're Derek's parole.
Yes.
And you say that he hasn't been doing very well in school.
yeah.
Well, we've heard that he has been doing quite well.
Well, he's been doing well compared to before.
So
calls to the stand Nathaniel Green.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Please state your name and age for the court.
My name is Nathaniel Green, and I'm 29 years old.
What is your occupation?
I am a doctor at St. Mary's Hospital.
What is your relation to the victims?
Monica was my wife, and she was pregnant.
Um, how long have you and Monica been married?
About 7 months.
You said before that your wife was pregnant. How far along was the baby?
About 7 months.
Do you have any other children?
Yes. Her name is Olivia. She's 5 years old, and she's turning kindergarten this fall.
Why were you on the D train the day that Monica died?
We were on our way to the river for a weekend vacation, and after that, we
Were you the only other person in the compartment other than Monica?
Yes, just Monica and me.
What exactly happened in the compartment that day?
I was sitting opposite of Monica, and we were talking about what we were going to do after our meeting when I heard glass breaking. I looked around and I saw a small hole in the window. I looked back at Monica, who was crumbled in my arms. I saw dark red blood gush from her temple and heard the last breath. And then she was dead.
Then what did you do?
I was shocked. My wife was dead, bleeding in my arms. I laid her in the seat next to me, but it was no use. It looked like the bullet shattered her skull and lodged in her brain.
How did you know that the bullet had shattered her skull and lodged itself in her brain?
Well, I am a doctor.
Were you suspicious of what had transpired?
My wife was perfectly healthy just a minute before. Then she was bleeding my arms. Of course, I was suspicious.
Did you investigate at all?
Not immediately. For a few moments, all I could do was cry and hold Monica's body. Then I got up, laying Monica gently on the floor, and opened the window. I leaned out where I saw a couple of boys standing there. One of them had their arms outstretched and something shining in his hand. I assumed at that time it was a tin can. Filled towards a thunder and fire.
Thank you so much for your testimony. I'm very sorry for your loss. Girl witness.
So you were on the train when you were dead? Where was your daughter?
Objection. Evidence.
Overruled. She was at Monica's place.
Were you sitting next to your wife?
Yes.
Did you receive any injuries when the bullet entered your brain? You said you opened the window and your dad saw 2 boys. How could you open the window if it was open?
Well, if the bullet was probably the content so
Okay. And did anyone have any reasons to harm her? I should not take back any dancing or anything like that.
no, it just did that.
The witness may step down.
The guy had all of his
It is
med.
the defense now calls Exhibit the story of the countries.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Is there any other question? How old are you?
19.
How long has Derek been working with you?
2 years, since I was 17.
What has he done to help you?
He has been teaching me English and giving me a sense of security and helping me learn the ways of American life.
Have you ever seen him do anything harmful to a person, animal, or thing?
No, I've never even seen him kill a spider. He always scoops them up and puts them outside.
Does this seem like something Derek would do?
No, not at all.
How did you meet Derek?
It was February 19th, 2010. I was eating my lunch under a tree at the high school, and some bullies came up and started teasing me. It slowly got worse until they were actually shoving and spitting on me. Derek walked up to me and asked what's going on. they all turned on him and were like, "Why do you care what's going on?" He said, "It doesn't look like she did anything wrong. Why do you think it's okay to bully someone like that?" They didn't have an answer to that. And soon they left me alone. From that day on, they never bothered me again. Now I have ultimate respect for Derek and that he had the courage and heart to help me in a situation like that.
Your witness.
So you said, all the things he has helped you. Has he done anything that could have, harmed your self-esteem in any way?
No, he's been so helpful in teaching me English. He always goes at a slow pace.
Okay. Okay, so, you said you're 19 years old, correct? Okay, so that would mean that, Derek would only be about 14 years old when he was first encountered you, correct? Okay. No further questions.
So the defense would like to call Michael Manson.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
Mike Henry, I'm in the middle school class.
How long have you known Derek?
I've known his parents since before he was born, but I started coaching him.
Does Derek get into trouble regularly at school?
Now, he's an amazing student. I have pleasure to have all of us.
And in the time that you've known him, has he done anything to harm anyone?
He was always very sincere and very nonviolent.
The witness?
So you said before that you were Derek's middle school basketball coach. Are you aware now that he's in high school? So have you had any chance to actually talk to him and let you know that you made that transition to high school?
Yes, I'm friends with his parents. I still have that conversation.
How regular?
Once or twice a week.
Have you actually spoken to Derek, or is it just his parents?
Mostly to his friends that I speak to.
So you have not actually spoken to Derek and seen how he's feeling?
I haven't gotten into detail with it, but I do talk to him about it now.
No questions.
The witness may step down.
Good, please report. Today you have heard the arguments of both the prosecution and the defense. Now I have one question for you. How do you justify the actions of the defendant? Watch this. You don't. There is no possible way to justify the defendant's actions. Imagine if this was your wife or child. Pain and sorrow would torment you forever. Monica and her baby would have lived full lives. Lives filled with happiness, sorrow, love, and hope. But that was all robbed from them. Now they're in a cold grave with no chance of happiness, love, sorrow, or hope. So I ask you, if you go out of that hallway and find the defendant guilty of all charges,
After hearing all of the evidence in this case, ladies and gentlemen, you can clearly see that Derek Robinson is a good boy and a hero to those who need one. Mike Henry told us how much potential Derek has and that Derek is smart enough not to throw his life away by killing himself. even if he had nothing to lose. Angelica told us how Derek wouldn't hurt a fly, let alone a human being. He may have a lot of potential, but not the potential to hurt someone. The prosecution did not present evidence that would prove Derek guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. In fact, the evidence made it clear that Derek had no intention to hurt anyone. Can you ruin a promising kid's life by putting him in jail for years because he was curious? Because he wanted to know what it was like to shoot a gun? Because he wanted to see? What about if he made a point to go to an unpopulated area to satisfy his curiosity just so he couldn't possibly hurt anyone? He was just curious. It is tragic that a life was lost in this accident, but 3 innocent lives will be lost if Derek Robinson is sent to jail for the rest of his life. Please, ladies and gentlemen, recognize this accident for what it is. Derek will be mentally scarred as a result of this accident for the rest of his life. He does not deserve any more punishment than that. He must return a verdict of not guilty. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's my duty to instruct, as judge, to instruct you in the law that applies to this case. It's your duty as jurors to follow these instructions and apply the rules of law and facts as you find within the evidence.
Judge, excuse me, the prosecution does have a chance to present a rebuttal closing argument, and they would like to do so. Sorry to interrupt. The defense does not get that option, the prosecution does, though. Okay, prosecution?
Court? He had no intention of his justice action, but he still killed a woman and her unborn child. You can't justify that. And even in the story, it states that he was the only one to shoot the gun. His friend never shot the gun. And, that is all.
And Judge, if you'll remind the jury of what the 4 charges are when you're done giving your instructions, that would be good. The 3 charges are?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's my duty as judge to instruct you in the law that applies to this case. It is your duty as jurors to follow these instructions and apply the rules of law and facts as you find in this case. You must not be concerned with the wisdom of any rule of law stated in these instructions. Regardless of any opinion you may have of what the law ought to be, it would be a violation of your oath to base a verdict upon any other view of the law than that given in the instructions of the court. If, in these instructions, any rule, direction, or idea is repeated or stated in these ways, no emphasis thereon is intended by me and none may be inferred by you. For that reason, you are not to single out any certain sentence or individual point of instruction and ignore the others. There is consider all the instructions as whole and regard each in the light of all the others. The order in which the instructions are given and no significance to the relevant principle. Evidence that you are to consider in this case consists of testimony by the witnesses, the exhibits of any facts admitted or agreed to by the counsel. Statements, arguments, and opinions of counsel are not evidence in this case. However, the attorney stipulated the existence of a fact, must accept the stipulation as evidence and regard that fact as proof. You must not speculate to be true any insinuation suggested by a question asked or written. The question is not an evidence may be considered only as it applies to the main evidence. You must disregard any evidence to which an object was sustained, objection was sustained by the court, and any evidence ordered stricken by the court. Anything you may have seen or heard outside the courtroom is not evidence, must also be disregarded. You must decide all questions of fact in this case from the evidence received in this trial, and not from any other source. You must not make any independent investigation of the facts or the law. Although you are to consider only the evidence in the case in which you verdict, you must give into consideration of the evidence your everyday common sense and the judgment of reasonable men and women. Thus, you are not limited solely to what you see and hear as your witnesses testify. You may draw reasonable inferences from the evidence you feel are justified in the light of common experience, keeping in mind that such inferences may not be based on speculation or guess. The verdict may never be influenced by sympathy, prejudice, or public opinion. Your decision should be product of sincere judgment and sound discretion in accordance with these rules of law. If during this trial I've said anything which has suggested to you that I'm inclined to favor the prosecution of any party will not be influenced by such suggestions. I have not expressed nor intended to express, nor have I intended to intimidate any opinion as which witnesses are not working for me. The facts are or are not established or indicate an opinion relative to these facts. I instruct you to disregard them. Credibility or believability of witnesses should be determined by the manner of the stand in relationship to the parties, the fear, motives, interests, and feelings, the opportunity to have observed the manner in which he testified the reasons in the statements and stand to be considered the recollections. If you believe a witness is liable of any material fact in case, you need to provide the entire testimony of that witness. Any portion of that testimony is not proved by the evidence. Certain testimony is read into evidence in your position.
Can you please read the charges?
Charges are as follows. Carrying a weapon without a permit, firing a gun near public facilities, and manslaughter of 2 persons.
And the jury may want a copy of those charges when they go deliberate. Jury, you may deliberate. That means get up and go to the hallway.
On the charge of carrying a weapon without a permit, what do you say?
Guilty.
On the charge of firing a gun near public facilities, what do you say?
Guilty.
On the charge of manslaughter of 2 persons, what do you say?
Guilty.
Yeah! Yeah! What? You are part of it! Yeah! Shoot you like I shot your wife!
Okay, done.